You ever ask an AI a really tough question and you just watch it spin its wheels, generating absolute nonsense that goes on forever? Well, what if I told you the AI might actually know it's stuck from the very beginning? Today we're grabbing our detective hats because we are investigating a fascinating mystery. Does AI have a kind of secret self-awareness about its own limits? The clues are all there. Let's start the investigation.
So, check this out. On the left, you see the problem in action. You give the AI a complex math question, and it just gets stuck in this massive loop. We're talking thousands of words and calculations, just repeating itself and going absolutely nowhere. It's super frustrating for you, and it's a huge waste of computing power. But then, look at the right. This is what's possible. The exact same AI could just recognize the problem's too hard and give a short, helpful outline of an approach instead. And that right there is the central question for us. How do we get an AI to stop pretending and just admit when it doesn't know something? Well, as researchers are finding out, the answer might not be about teaching it anything new, but instead, learning to listen to what it's already telling us. Okay, first things first, let's properly identify our culprit here, because this isn't just some minor glitch. It's a really bad habit that even the most powerful AI models have. It's called unproductive reasoning. So, here's the deal. When an AI hits a problem that's just beyond its skill level, it doesn't just stop. Nope, it gets trapped in these endless loops, just chewing up massive amounts of computing power until it completely runs out of short-term memory. And what does the user get? Nothing but a long wait and a wrong answer. It's inefficient, unreliable, and just a terrible experience all around. To crack this case, researchers decided to look for clues inside the machine itself, and they started asking a pretty wild question. What if the AI already knows it's out of its depth? This is the real heart of the investigation. Let's forget about external tests for a minute. Could the model actually have an internal sense of its own boundaries? Is there like a ghost in the machine that knows when it's time to just give up? So the first place they looked for evidence was in the AI's chain of thought. It's step-by-step reasoning. It's kind of like listening in on the AI's inner monologue as it tries to figure something out. And what they found was pretty stunning. The AI's language completely changes depending on whether it's on the right path. When it's going to nail the answer, it uses confident phrases like "no mistake" or "I think it's correct." But when it's heading for a dead end, its language is full of doubt. "My assumption is wrong. I'm not 100% sure." It sounds almost human.
Now look at this data. The alignment is pretty strong, but check out that wrong answer with uncertainty column. For every single model, when it starts sounding unsure of itself, it gets the answer wrong 100% of the time. Let that sink in for a second. If the AI sounds like it doesn't know, it definitely doesn't know. That's our first huge clue.
But our detectives didn't stop there. They looked beyond just single phrases. They started analyzing the entire pattern, the whole trajectory of the AI's confidence as it reasoned its way through the problem. And this chart just lays it all out crystal clear. For problems the AI can actually solve, its confidence just grows and grows. But for the unsolvable ones, uncertainty takes over and dominates the whole process. There are two totally distinct paths, and the AI follows one or the other every single time. It's a predictable signal. Okay, so listening to the AI's thoughts was a huge breakthrough. But the next phase of this investigation went even deeper. What if we could read the AI's mind before it even started talking?
So to do this, researchers looked at something called hidden states. The easiest way to think about this is it's the AI's raw, pre-verbal understanding of a question. It's just a complex string of numbers that represents the core meaning of the problem before a single word of an answer is even generated. And this led them to the most mind-bending question of the whole thing. Could this signal of self-awareness actually exist in those hidden states? Could the AI know it's going to fail the moment it's done reading the question?
And the answer was a massive, stunning yes. The internal numerical representations for problems the AI could solve were fundamentally different from the ones it couldn't. The signal was there all along, hiding in plain sight inside the model's own mind.
In fact, this signal is so clear that a really simple machine learning tool can look at these hidden states and predict whether the AI can solve the problem with about 98% accuracy. This is the smoking gun. The AI knows. Case closed. All right, so the mystery is solved. We've found the signal. Now for the final act. How do we actually use this discovery to teach the AI a brand new trick? How to just say, "I don't know." Okay, strategy 1 is the black box approach. You don't even need to peek inside the AI's brain for this one. You just listen to its reasoning. If you start to see that pattern of growing uncertainty we talked about, you just stop the AI and tell it to fess up that it doesn't know. Simple as that.
Then you've got strategy 2, the white box or mind-reading approach. Before the AI even starts to think, you grab its hidden state, you run it through that simple classifier, and if it flags the problem as a no-go, you force the AI to immediately spit out that helpful, "I don't know" answer.
And the results? They are incredible. By putting these strategies into practice, researchers were able to slash the wasted computation, all those tokens spent looping, by up to 93.6%. That is a huge deal for efficiency.
And this slide really nails the change in behavior. Before, the models had zero ability to just abstain, to admit they couldn't solve a hard problem. After implementing these strategies, they do it almost 100% of the time when they're faced with an impossible question. And, this is the really important part, it didn't hurt their accuracy at all on the problems they actually could solve.
So, what does this all mean for the future? Well, this isn't just about making AI a little bit faster. This is about making it more honest and a whole lot more reliable.
At the end of the day, an AI that understands its own limits is an AI that we can actually trust. It's an AI that won't confidently mislead you or just waste your time. It becomes a much better tool and a much better partner for helping us solve real-world problems.
Which leaves us with one last, really fascinating question to think about. Knowing what you don't know, that's a key part of human intelligence. Scientists call it metacognition. So, if we've now found a clear signal for it inside these AI models, what does that mean? What's the next step on this long road toward building a truly self-aware and maybe, just maybe, a conscious machine?